I find myself compelled to recount the horrors that befell me, lest they consume what remains of my sanity. It was in the quaint hamlet of Ravenwood, nestled amidst ancient forests and mist-shrouded hills, that I first heard whispers of the Crimson Pond, a body of water so still, so unnaturally red, that even the bravest souls dared not approach its shores after nightfall. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, their eyes darting nervously as though the very mention of its name might summon some unspeakable evil. I, in my folly, dismissed their fears as mere superstition. A man of science and reason, I scoffed at tales of spectral figures and blood-curdling screams that echoed from the pond's murky depths. How foolish I was, how blind to the terrors that lurked just beyond the veil of our mundane existence. It was on All Hallows' Eve, when the boundary between worlds grows thin, that I resolved to unravel the mystery of the Crimson Pond. Armed with nothing but a lantern and my unwavering skepticism, I set forth into the woods as the last rays of sunlight retreated beyond the horizon. The forest seemed to close in around me as I ventured deeper, the trees contorting into grotesque shapes that mocked my very presence. The air grew thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the crunch of dead leaves beneath my feet and the pounding of my own heart. At last I emerged into a small clearing, and there it was, the Crimson Pond. Its surface was as smooth as polished glass, reflecting the sickly light of the moon above. But it was the color that struck me most profoundly. Not the rich crimson of autumn leaves, nor the vibrant red of a cardinal's plumage, but a deep, viscous hue that spoke of things best left unspoken. As I approached the water's edge, a chill wind stirred the trees, carrying with it the faintest whisper of a voice. "Turn back," it seemed to say, "lest you become one with the crimson depths." But my curiosity, that damnable curiosity, drove me forward. I knelt at the pond's edge, my lantern casting a feeble light upon the water. For a moment, all was still. Then, as though responding to some unheard command, the surface began to ripple. Slowly at first, then with increasing violence, until the entire pond churned like a cauldron of blood. From its center rose a figure so horrific, so utterly alien to all that is right and natural, that my mind recoils even now at the memory. It was a thing of mist and shadow, with eyes like burning coals, and a maw that gaped wide enough to swallow a man whole. Tendrils of crimson water clung to its form, dripping back into the pond with a sound like flesh tearing from bone. I stumbled backward, my lantern slipping from nerveless fingers to shatter upon the ground. In the sudden darkness, I heard it, a low gurgling laugh that seemed to emanate from the very earth itself. The thing in the pond spoke, its voice a cacophony of drowning screams and shattering ice. "Welcome, seeker of truth," it rasped. "You have come to learn the secrets of the Crimson Pond. Know then, that its waters are fed by the blood of the curious, the foolhardy, the damned, and now you shall join them." Terror lent wings to my feet as I fled through the forest, branches whipping at my face and roots threatening to trip me at every step. Behind me, I heard the splash of water and the wet slap of something inhuman giving chase. The trees themselves seemed to reach out with gnarled fingers, trying to hold me back, to deliver me into the clutches of that abomination. By some miracle, I emerged from the woods, my lungs burning and my mind teetering on the brink of madness. I dared not look back for fear of what I might see pursuing me. I ran until my legs gave out, collapsing in the safety of my own home. But safety, I have learned, is an illusion. For in the days that followed, I found myself haunted by visions of that crimson horror. In every reflection, I see not my own face, but the rippling surface of that accursed pond. The drip of a faucet becomes the wet footsteps of the thing that rose from its depths. And in my dreams, oh, in my dreams, I am dragged beneath those blood-red waters, my screams silenced by the weight of ancient, unspeakable evil. I write this now as a warning to all who might stumble upon the Crimson Pond. Do not seek it out. do not approach its shores. For once you have gazed into its depths, you will find that the crimson stain has seeped into your very soul. And in the darkest hours of the night, when the wind howls and shadows dance, you may hear a whisper carried on the air, a voice that speaks of blood and terror, inviting you to join the endless crimson embrace of the pond. Beware, dear reader, for the crimson pond thirsts and its hunger knows no bounds. And should you find yourself standing at its edge, know that it is already too late. The waters will rise, the shadows will engulf you, and you will become one with the crimson horror that lurks beneath the surface. May God have mercy on your soul, for the crimson pond surely will not.